65% last season, and he has been lights out from the line so far this year. Terrence Kinsey leading the club in scoring and leading the team vocally as well, stepping up to that role as a senior.
Watson will try to spread it out, looks over to Coach Pearl, who's yelling out instructions.
South Carolina's going to a zone defense, trying to match up out of it quite a bit. Coach Pearl changing things up offensively.
Shot clock at 7, and Patterson is rejected.
Antoine Tisby on the block shot. He loves playing Tennessee. He had his career high 18 points against the Vols last season in this building. There he is blocking that shot there.
Shot clock at 2, shot clock at 1. They're not going to get it off. Lofton looked up at the shot clock, then gave it up to Bradshaw, and Bruce Pearl doesn't like that because you have to know that's the second turnover. You have to know that that shot clock's coming down. Now here comes the press.
Well, the pace is definitely in South Carolina's favor so far in this ball game. Tennessee hasn't been able to get it into that up-tempo scramble. South Carolina doing a great job changing up defensively and not letting Tennessee just get comfortable at the offensive end.
And, you know, we talked to Coach Odom about that, and he kept bringing up the word tempo. Kinsey from the outside. Got to hit those shots. He also told us every possession has to count. Watson gives it up to Lofton. This is the man Odom says sparks his team. Wingate had it, lost it. The official says it belongs to South Carolina.
Lofton missing his first shot. He was 6 out of 7 on three-pointers in the game over in Columbia. And Chris Lofton, a great three-point shooter.
Well, our first substitution, Juwan Smith comes in, number 2 for Tennessee. Patterson sits down. Smith is Mr. Offense. They like him coming off the bench. Thinks they can give a big spark offensively to the Volunteer team.
Tennessee back to their smaller lineup. Dane Bradshaw guarding Brandon Wallace inside.
Dwayne Day, Lofton on in. Day much improved since the last time these two teams met. Got some confidence. Shot clock inside of 10. Kelsey, nice pass. Wallace will launch the 3. Bradshaw, another rebound, and a quick outlet goes to Watson.
Good numbers for Tennessee.
Lofton gets a good look at it. Bradshaw, another rebound. He is a former point guard, my friends.
Former backup point guard. Leading this club in rebounds, just so productive. Leading the team in assists as well, Dane Bradshaw.
You see the Volunteers +5 on the rebounding side. We've got a whistle and a foul. Smith on the drive. Foul's going to be on Day. That'll be his first personal.
Juwan Smith for Tennessee, another player playing with a lot more confidence this season. He's playing close to 24 minutes a game this year, as opposed to the 8 minutes a game he played last season.
And, you know, you look at Smith, he was 0 for 7 versus Memphis in the 2-game losing streak where they lost to LSU and then they lost to Memphis. Since then, he's 8 of 15. So this young man obviously had a little streak there. It wasn't all that great, but he's come on, and Coach Pearl needs him off the bench to give the points. Got them both.
South Carolina, the tempo right where they want it to be.
Kinsey can't get it to go. Here comes Tennessee on the run. Watson runs the court, can't get the hand on it.
Dane Bradshaw got away with a foul inside. He knocked Tisby across the arm on that layup. He has 1 foul.
Well, South Carolina 0 for 4. Fans don't like that. Here comes Kinsey. Tennessee is so good at getting you into that scramble type of game, aren't they?
Especially when they can score and get you to take it out on the end line. They like to use all 94 feet.
Dave Orton said their team is much more patient than that. They like playing 5-on-5. Shot clock inside of 10 again. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Trey Kelly. That's a 2.
Tough move by Kelly, getting it over to Juwan Smith.
And the 3 is answered by Juwan Smith. 5 points in the ball game for Smith, and Tennessee has a 3-point advantage. Oh my, the big time slam going down by Tisby.
South Carolina will take advantage of pushing it down the court. If they can find a good shot early in the shot clock, they're not afraid to take it. Gamecocks back into their zone defense, and Tennessee trying to solve it.
1 point Tennessee lead. We played 5 minutes here in the opening half. Tennessee, one of the surprises of the SEC. Smith goes with the right hand, has it rejected, but right into the hands of Stanley Asumnu, and he has his first two.
Asumnu playing so well for Tennessee this year, averaging over 9 a game. Another player that last year it looked like he just couldn't play at all, but this year he is playing to his strengths, doing what he can do, get on the boards and play defense.
And quickly right back down. Here comes Dwayne Day knocking down the three. Just a sophomore out of Mount Vernon, Georgia, played for Montgomery High. Bradshaw left open inside. Gets it out to Watson. Kinsey takes it away from the white jerseys. Tied up at 9. Just about 6 minutes gone by. Tennessee now 1 of 5 beyond the arc.
Bradshaw had a layup. Passed it up. Good matchup here for South Carolina with Tisby against Bradshaw, but they can't get to it.
Watson with a slam. That's why they lead the conference in steals.
And the second, third, and fourth best steal guys in the league, with Watson second in the SEC in steals, Lofton and Bradshaw right behind him.
Watson bellying up to Kinsey.
See if South Carolina can get it to Tisby on the block.
Kelly works off a pick by Wallace, launches the three. Tisby cannot hold on to it. That's the second turnover for South Carolina. We've got a timeout. Pretty good pace going on right now. Tisby has the slam, but Tennessee has the lead by 2. Welcome back to Thompson-Boling Arena. Along with Barry Booker, I'm Ron Thulin. Tennessee is the hottest ticket in town right now between the men and the ladies. And, of course, South Carolina coming in with that 11-8 record. Dave Odom's done a great job, and they bounced back last week to beat Florida. What an outstanding game for you.
Picked up that much-needed win.
Absolutely. You think of the close games, too, as it's going to go the other way. But you think of the close breaker to Georgia, bounce back, and they beat Florida. This team's showing a lot of heart. There you can see the field goal. Neither team's shooting well, but South Carolina's doing pretty good on the dunk thing, and that's going to be a technical for hanging on the rim by Brandon Wallace.
Great job breaking the press by South Carolina, passing right over the top of it. Ronaldo Bach. South Carolina, the crowd is out of this game.
Right. We
are just at the tempo that the Gamecocks want.
Now Lofton makes them both.
Lofton missed his first couple of jumpers. That opportunity at the foul line for him may be what he needs to get his shot going.
He's an 88% free throw shooter. Tennessee will also have the ball with the lead.
South Carolina playing some zone defense in this ball game tonight. We talked to Bruce Pearl today. He was saying they've been pretty good against zone. Hadn't seen much of it, but they've been pretty good against it when they've seen it. Gamecocks giving them trouble out of the zone so far.
5 turnovers for Tennessee. Inside, Bachman has it stripped. Jordan Howell is also checked into the game.
To get back, and Howell able to knock it away before Bachman can get it up for 2.
And they turn it over. Howell lets it fly for the 2, and he buries the jumper.
It's a tough shot in a 4-on-1 break situation, but Jordan Howell with confidence knocks it home.
Kelly, he'll launch the 3, and he'll bury the 3. Trey Kelly. Only player to start every game for South Carolina. He's got 5, and Tennessee loses it.
And all of a sudden, the game has jumped to 10.
6 turnovers for the Volunteers in this game. They only turned over about 13 times the contest. You can see the turnover doubling up on the Gamecocks. Wingate will guard the inbounds pass. Kelly to trigger it. Looking for somebody. Finally gets it into Kinsey.
Tennessee only had 6 turnovers in that entire game at Columbia earlier this month. South Carolina with 12. And
oh, they're lighting up the three. Kinsey, who had 18 versus Tennessee, gives South Carolina their first lead of the ball game with 12:07 to play in the opening half.
Coach Pearl said today that he thought his team didn't have a lot of life. He didn't see a lot of spark from the players as they were going through their shoot around this morning, and we're seeing that today. The crowd has been quiet. I think they've come to expect this team to give them so much, but today they need the help from the crowd.
Now, just a reminder, coming up immediately following our game, we'll have Mississippi State taking on Alabama. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And as usual, mentioned earlier, he took out the seats there. He said, you know, we're going to get these fans standing up, cheering, and the students have really taken to it.
They're getting 4,500 students to their ball games, where last year they'd get about 500 per ball game. That's been a big part of their rise in attendance this season, but it is just great to see the Tennessee fans respond to an excellent product on the court. They're getting to see some good basketball, and they're showing up to watch.
Overall, about plus 4,000 in attendance for Tennessee this year. Probably even more than that during conference games.
Yeah, that's true. In the conference games last year, they'd be at about 13 or 14,000 a game, and this year it's been over 20.
Bradshaw tries the spin move. Looking for some. Gives it up to Howell. Shot clock at 12. Plenty of time.
Carolina back man-to-man, changing things up defensively and giving the ball some trouble.
Bradshaw launches it, hits the bottom of the net. Unfortunately, you have to go through the top of it.
Hey, it's just
Last 5 field goal attempts. That's why they have the lead by 2, but they are one of the top 3 shooting teams in the conference, and we're seeing it especially from beyond the arc.
They're taking charge from a tempo standpoint as well.
Now, once again, we talked about the pace, and that's what was really concerning Dave Odom in this basketball game. But right now, I think that they've adapted to the pace, and therefore controlling the tempo.
Tennessee trying to change things up a bit. They go smaller and get into a zone defense.
Almost a 4-guard offense if you consider Bradshaw a guard. They wanted to walk, not going to get it. Kinsey launches as he floats to the left, and he knocks it down. Darns Kinsey out of Tampa, Florida. He's got 7 in the ball game.
Darns Kinsey rolling along, playing with a lot of confidence, and he has really played well these last few ball games. Last couple of games, he's 6 out of 9 on 3-pointers and 19 against Florida on Wednesday. 19 points, not 19 threes.
He's number 5 in the SEC in 3-point percentage. Shot clock again inside of 10. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
That's knowing where your teammate is.
Lofton launches it, barely gets it off. Almost the 3rd shot clock violation for Tennessee.
South Carolina doing a great job defensively. Just they've befuddled the Vols on their 8-0 run right now. They're doing a great job on the defensive end.
Stephen McDowell's checked in for South Carolina, number 2. And gives it up to Trice. Shot clock at 12. Kinsey Lofton on in. He'll launch the shot. The 3 won't go. Rebound controlled by Wingate. First rebound for Wingate in the ball game. 4-point South Carolina lead. That's their biggest of the ball game. Fred Kelly getting ready to check back in for South Carolina. Tennessee's gone 3 minutes without a field goal. Wingate inside. He can't get it. Short arms it. And he comes up hobbling.
He turned his ankle at some point in that play.
Trice pulls the trigger on a 3, and he buries it.
Nice pass by Stephen McDowell, getting into the lane, kicking it back out to Trice.
Well, they like him off the bench. He's showing it. Wingate his 2nd rebound, puts it on the floor, and has it taken away. 7-point South Carolina lead.
Another good play by McDowell, knocking that ball away. Wingate can't put it on the floor in that traffic.
First meeting between these 2 teams. South Carolina led by as many as 15, only to have Tennessee beat them. South Carolina has made 6 of their last 8 field goal attempts.
They are putting points on the board, not by playing at a fast pace, but just by production when they have the basketball.
Bisbee has the air ball. Whistle and a foul.
Their lack of depth has been one of the reasons why they haven't been able to finish these ball games. Trey Kelly and Torrance Kinsey, two guys that just play a ton of minutes. Kinsey playing over 38 minutes a game in SEC play.
Kelly 35 minutes. With a rejection on Patterson.
He came to play here in Knoxville.
He's got 3 blocks now, and that's the 6th block for South Carolina. Kelly gives it up. They'll try another 3. Bachman with a rebound. The pump fake. Uses the glass, can't get it. Bradshaw had it, lost it.
London block shots as the Gamecocks 6-1 in the block shot category against the ball.
Tennessee forces the turnover. Here comes Lofton. Tries to dribble through traffic, and he's going to be fouled on the dribble drive.
Defensive end, one of the top guys in the SEC with steals. The balls have gone over nearly 6 minutes now without a field.
Inside of 8 minutes. The score was at the 12:45 mark. Lofton, difficult shot, had no chance at it, but he makes a fabulous play, saving it. He'll try it again. He's fouled on the play as he shoots the 3. Foul's going to be on Brandon Wallace, his first, but when we come back, Chris Lofton will be on the line. His team trails by 7.
South Carolina has hounded Tennessee in the 26% field goal shooting. The Gamecocks have blocked 6 shots, and they are doing a great job on the defensive end of the court against Tennessee, forcing them into difficult shots. 2 shot clock violations also in this ball game against Tennessee. The Gamecocks dominating this game from a defensive standpoint.
Absolutely, and that's, you look at the history of Dave Odom, and obviously that has been his history. He always has played that harassing defense. He did that a couple of years ago when he was lacking size, but Coach Odom has come up with a great defensive plan tonight. And he told us, he goes, we're able to take guys out of what they do best. The problem is we're struggling with what they do second best. Lofton gets the first out of Maysville, Kentucky, the home of George and Rosemary Clooney, by the way. He's the 3rd most famous person from Maysville. But they do sell his jersey in Maysville, Kentucky.
A Tennessee jersey being sold in the great state.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's a popular young man to be able to do that.
Well, he makes all 3. The lead's been cut to 4, 7:38 to play in the opening half. South Carolina did not have problems with Tennessee's press in the first meeting between these two. It's time now for our Southeast Toyota trivia question, and the question is, what is the Tennessee record for most wins by a first-year coach? And we'll give you the answer in just a couple of minutes. And I'm sure Tennessee fans already know that answer.
Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl. he may get it.
Oh, the folks, the Tennessee faithful are so excited, as well they should be, about Coach Pearl and what's going on here in Knoxville with this basketball program. Exceeded all expectations. 4 SEC wins already for this club. 13 overall.
Kelly with 3 on the shot clock. Draws a little bit of iron. Lofton with the rebound. Looked up. He was looking for Smith. You can see what Tennessee has done. 7 turnovers, 5 field goals made. More TOs and field goals. Watson with a 3. And he buries it.
South Carolina got a little confused that time defensively. Watson wide open at the top of the key. Easy shot.
He was a preseason All-SEC, shooting almost 50% this year. That's their first field goal in 6 minutes, and the lead's down to 1.
The crowd trying to get into this ball game. Balls need to give them something more to cheer about.
Tisby tries to set the pick. Rebound controlled by Patterson. Dewan Smith carried it.
Here's Watson wide open at the top of the key. You see no one on him at all. South Carolina just confused on the assignment as you see the numbers on C.J. Watson, one of the all-time greats here at Tennessee, among their leaders in scoring, 3-point field goals, assists, and steals. And he is only the 9th player in SEC history over 1,000 points and over 500 assists in his career.
Tony Harris was the last to do it here in Tennessee. Kelly, he'll put up the three. South Carolina not afraid to throw up the three. They're averaging about 19 attempts a game. Tennessee looking to regain the advantage. They're on a 6-0 run. Childress is checked into the game. Gives it up. Smith, no. Childress doesn't like the call.
Yet another turnover on Tennessee on that offensive foul going inside. Childress had that maneuver. A good idea to drop off the pass. Just too aggressive going to the basket.
Now Tennessee will not put pressure on. With 5:35 to play in the first half. Now South Carolina's hit their own little drought. They've gone about 3:45 without a hoop.
Trice, the guys they play on the wings are really athletic, small forward guys. We're going to have fun in this one today. I expect it to come down to the wire.
Bryce Sheldon getting ready to check into South Carolina's lineup. Trice, one dribble, no place to go. Childress keeps bumping him. Bachman, he'll launch the three. South Carolina 0 for their last 7. Bachman goes for the loose ball. No whistle. Bruce Pearl doesn't like it.
Nice job by Watson using his body, protecting that basketball. Bachman surprised him defensively. Almost came up with a turnover.
Watson goes around Bachman. This time he is fouled, and they both go crashing into the stanchion and into the fans. Bachman's playing with some kind of energy.
He's playing with fire. And he was trying to catch Watson that time. Not a dirty play trying to throw him into the stands or anything.
Childress and Patterson out.
It's Bachman got his hand on the basketball, almost came up with the steal, and Watson just protecting the basketball the whole way. Keep Bachman away from him.
Bradshaw has to give it to Wingate. 4:45 to play in the half. Talking to Dave Odom in the hotel this morning, he just went on and on about Dane Bradshaw. Said this guy is unbelievable. Exceptional player considering he's only 6'4". Sumnu, floating right-hander, drops it over Bryce Sheldon. Sumnu now with 4.
It's just stunning to see what's happened with Stanley Asumnu's game. An offensive force, playing with that confidence.
And he's responded to his role off the bench now in the last couple of games. Lofton, the home run ball to Asumnu.
Great pass by the former wide receiver.
Yeah.
Chris Lofton grabbing the rebound, pitching it ahead to Asumnu. Giving the crowd something to cheer about, giving them something to jump around about as Stanley Asumnu slamming it home.
You know, you and I were talking during one of the breaks that something needed to happen to get this crowd pumped up. I think we've just seen it.
Get the crowd pumped up, and especially to get the team pumped up.
Yeah.
They are maybe starting to read the press clippings, starting to take the attention that they've received to heart, maybe a little too much.
Well, you know, you said that, and I watched Bruce Pearl's television show, and on his show, at the end of the Florida game, he was in the locker room, and he said to the guys, this doesn't mean anything. This is great, but it doesn't mean anything. He said, 6:45, weight room Monday, I want you to work out hard. And he tried to tell the guys to stay hungry. We still haven't done anything, and he kept saying it over and over again.
Well, there is such balance in this league. If things start going the wrong way, you can reel off 2 or 3 losses in a row in a hurry.
Nice job, Jordan Howe, but they left him wide open. Rocky Trice has 5 in the ball game. Good trap, but they didn't cover up the last one.
High-risk strategy for Tennessee. Go out there and trap. You sometimes leave players open. Big hustle by Asumnu.
Bradshaw will set it up. Tennessee has 6 offensive rebounds, but they throw it away. But he stepped on the line, so it'll go back to Tennessee. That's the home run ball. Lofton to Asumnu. Tennessee leads by 1.
You're watching FSN South.
SEC Saturday Night on FSN is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury. Tennessee 11-0 at home, dating back to last year. 11-game win streak, 9 this year. Right now they have the lead by 1, 25-24, along with Barry Booker. I'm Ron Thulin. You look at some of the numbers here with 3:24 to play, and the thing that stands out, I think, for us, Tennessee controlling the boards, considering they're not considered a good rebounding team.
They play small typically, but today they've gone a little bit bigger, and Andre Patterson has come up with 6 rebounds in this ball game today. So the Vols doing a better job on the boards.
You can see their season average in the negative column, but they're plus 11 tonight. South Carolina about a plus 1 in their rebounding margin overall. Slam won't go. Sundu had position, couldn't put it down.
A couple of missed dunks today. Yep. Great opportunity there for Stanley. Couldn't quite get it home. He has 6 points in the ball game so far.
Now doing a nice job defensively. Rebound Trice to put back with the left hand. Rocky Trice now with 7 in the ball game. South Carolina's regained the lead inside of 3 minutes to play.
Went nearly 6 minutes without a field goal, and finally Trice gets a bucket, and the Gamecocks seesaw back ahead.
Sundu tries to atone for that. That's an ugly shot, but Wingate cleans up the mess.
Stanley a little too aggressive on the offensive end here late.
Lofton to steal and the putback with a right hand. And Dave Odom is mad at his troops. A careless play.
What the Vols can do to you, they can score in bunches with that pressure defense.
Matt Kelly now working on a Sundu. He'll back it out, closing in on 2 minutes to play in the half. South Carolina led by as many as 7 in this ball game. Trice not going anywhere around Lofton. Shot clock at 7. Trice going nowhere quickly. Has to give it up. Rebound. Bachman and Wingate were fighting for it underneath, and I think Bachman's going to be whistled for the foul. That'll be his second personal foul.
Still going South Carolina's way. They have slowed this game down, kept the crowd out of it for most of this ball game. Coming into a tough environment, a nationally ranked opponent. Gamecocks really playing well.
Bradshaw is stripped, but he does draw the whistle. Bradshaw just 62% from the line this season. Oh, those hurt. McDowell, he's played well the last 3 games. Coaches were very high on him today. McDowell launches the 3, doesn't get it. Rebound controlled by Bradshaw. He is bumped and fouled down the play by Rocky Trice. That'll be a 1-and-1, and Trice picks up his second personal. Easy. Bradshaw missed his last 3, but they get the ball back. It is a good piece, though, on setting screens. I have to admit that.
Yeah, let's hang around and check out the Nissan halftime report.
And the oxygen mask.
Yes.
Going inside, Patterson has a fake, uses the glass, got it. It's his first 2 of the ball game. Quickly, here comes the double, but again, South Carolina breaks the pressure. Inside of a minute, they're down by 5.
Small lineup on the court for both teams right now, and Andre Patterson able to take advantage of that inside. The best post player on the court right now for either team.
McDowell has to give it up. Bryce Sheldon, he buries the deuce.
Bryce Sheldon, a good 3-point shooter, nearly 40% on the season. Tennessee trying to hold probably for the last shot. A couple of seconds difference between game clock and shot clock.
That's Sheldon's first points. He hasn't had any points in the last 3 games. Now Sundu will just let the clock tick down. Biggest lead for Tennessee was 5. Biggest lead for South Carolina was 7. Watson gives it up. Smith for 3. No. Bradshaw right there for the putback. McDowell, he'll launch it. Hits the front of the rim. Tennessee is 10-1 when they're leading at the half, and that's what they do right now. The first 20 minutes are part of history. Bradshaw misses 3 straight free throws, but he does get the field goal. And thanks to a better than 2+ advantage in rebounding, Tennessee goes to the locker room leading by 5 at intermission.
Now, setting screens is really an act of unselfishness. It's not going to get you on the Southern Sports Report. You're not going to get SEC Player of the Week for being a great screen setter, but it helps your team get open and score points, and it can also help you get open and score points. So we're going to look at 4 uses of the screen. Now let's get into it, guys. The first one is a down screen to feed the post. Andre coming down to set a screen, and if you start moving too early, Chris takes off too early, I can get around that screen, or it can be a foul on Andre because Chris didn't wait for the screen to get set. So Chris really has to wait, let that screener get here, and then pop off it, use that get open so that he can feed inside, get the easy basket for Andre. So that's the first use, just getting into the post feed situation using that screen. Now the second one is a curl. I'm guarding Chris, and Chris curls into the lane. It's really difficult to defend because I have to get around that screen. Chris can get there ahead of me and get open on that curl cut. And next, if I try to beat Chris over that screen, take away that curl, he can get back door, get the easy shot as I'm trying to get around the screen. And the last one is a fade cut. I'm defending Chris, and now he starts to go back door. He can get me off on that screen. Having trouble defending Chris. But he can use that screen and get open for that fade, open in the corner by using that screen and waiting for it. And that's how teams can get open, get their guards some good shots by using those screens. Now guys, who's the best screener on the Vols basketball team? It's Andre Patterson. So if Chris, CJ, Dane, if the perimeter players are getting open, look for Andre doing a great job setting screens to get them open.
Everything you wanted to know about screens, but we're afraid to ask. We'll take a break. Halftime score, Tennessee by 5 over South Carolina. Welcome back to the Nissan Halftime Report. Both South Carolina and Tennessee had their chances to pull away in this ball game, but it's close at intermission. Number 19, Tennessee leading 33-28 over South Carolina. Along with Barry Booker, I'm Ron Thulin. This is about what we expected. We expected 2 different kinds of teams coming out tonight. We've seen that, but we're also seeing that throughout the SEC season this year.
There's so much balance in the league this year, and it's tough to get on the road and win ball games. If you can do that, it's going to be a huge advantage for you.
Well, it's been a pretty good day in the SEC. Let's catch you up on some of the scores from around the conference. And, of course, our game is a 5-point game, but the rest of the scores look like this. First of all, it was Florida over Vanderbilt, 81-58, but Vandy had the lead at halftime in that ball game. Just a game over Florida.
And Kentucky continues to rise in the SEC standings after dropping their first 2 ball games. They're playing Arkansas tomorrow. Tennessee rolling along, the surprise of the league at 4-1.
And take a look at the West standings. LSU perfect 6-0. They've got a 2-game advantage over Alabama, 3 over Ole Miss now.
Yeah, the Tigers are rolling from LSU. Good to see Auburn getting a win today.
This at hand here in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Volunteers lead it by 5. We come back on the Nissan Halftime Report. We'll give you some pictures and numbers from the first 20 minutes.
You're watching FSN South.
Welcome back to the Nissan Halftime Report. A crowd of better than 22,000 on hand. And right now, the hometown Volunteers, number 19 in the country. They lead it by 5, 33-28. Score was tied 4 times. Lead changed 4 times. South Carolina, courtesy of one of those dunks, actually went up by 7. But Tennessee got the 5-point lead, which matches their biggest. And that's where we are right now.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're watching FSN South.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights in South Carolina. They were on fire early on in this ball.
Knocking down another 3. For Tennessee, they got a few turnovers from South Carolina. C.J. Watson, one of the few easy baskets that Tennessee was able to come up with off the turnovers. Stanley Asumnu got the crowd excited for a moment, but the crowd has been out of this game for the most part.
And take a look at the numbers. Tennessee shooting 40% to 39%, but a lot of that due in part, like you said, 16 of their 28 shots for South Carolina were from beyond the arc. This is a team that only takes about 19 a game.
Yeah, they're close to that number already, but Tennessee dominating the backboards. 25 rebounds to South Carolina's 12. Tennessee, 9 turnovers. Very uncharacteristic for them. They handle the ball so well, typically.
Tennessee has as many offensive rebounds as South Carolina has rebounds total. 12 offensive rebounds for the Volunteers. That's a large number for 20 minutes. And there is their 5th steal. Watson to the hole with a finger roll.
C.J. Watson just stayed in that play, harassing the Gamecocks trying to get the ball in bounds. Watson gets things started right for Tennessee as they go up a touchdown.
And he has 7 in the ball game. Biggest lead for Tennessee. Wingate leaning on Tisby on the left block. Here's Tisby. One dribble. A little jump hook won't go. Quick outlet to Watson.
Good D by Wingate. That was a tough shot by Tisby.
Watson has his shot blocked by Tisby. And the ball will belong to South Carolina. Tisby's got a couple of blocks.
Antoine Tisby only able to play 13 minutes in that first half. Got in, didn't get to stay on the court very much, but they're a nice block shot as the Gamecocks can use Tisby's production if he can get into this ball game.
Wayne Day has been silent for South Carolina. Let's see if he can pick up. Not that one. Bradshaw tips it to himself. 5 rebounds now for Bradshaw in the ball game. Little hesitation. Wingate inside, or Patterson inside, whistle and a foul.
Oh, that pass into traffic from Bradshaw, but Andre Patterson able to corral it and get to the foul line.
How good is it to have a guy like Bradshaw, who is a backup point, as you mentioned? He gets the rebound, then he can lead the break. What advantage does that give you as a coach?
You can just get into transition so much more quickly if when the player who rebounds it can bring it down. It just cuts out one transition in your fast break situation. And Bradshaw making great decisions with the basketball. Went through a stretch where he had almost 7 games without a turnover. 34 assists during that stretch.
Patterson gets 1 and 2. Alley-oop! What a play! Oh my goodness! Kinsey got up.
And Torrance Kinsey signaled to Trey Kelly. Kelly trying to evaluate that situation. Finally let that pass go, and Kinsey with the hammer finish.
He had to do some adjusting in midair just to get the basketball. But it's a 6-point lead for Tennessee. He's now with 9 in the ball game. He leads the team.
Shot clock down once again as Tennessee faces the South Carolina zone defense.
They give it up. Lofton shot, no good.
Lofton just having a tough day beyond the arc. 0 for 5 so far from 3-point range.
As we talked about, Dave Odom feared him. Another 3.
Big fella getting into the act. Brandon Wallace, a very good 3-point shooter, only 25% on the season. He can shoot it from out there.
Of course, he missed a lot of that Florida game because he got scratched in his eye. 3-point Tennessee lead. Lofton this time gives it up. He hesitated.
Lofton having a tough time beyond the 3-point line, so we'll see if Tennessee can find some other answers. They have all season found different players to step in and make big plays when they've needed them.
Bradshaw gives it up. Watson, little pump fake. Smith wide open for the 3. Short arms. In Tennessee now 2 of 12 from beyond the arc.
Both teams really struggling from 3-point range.
Well, Kelly gets called for the offensive foul. That is his 3rd foul. Smith fell on the play. Kelly got a little piece of him.
Dave Odom beside himself on the sideline.
I know. He's making sure Mr. Kelly knows about that, but he's playing with 3 fouls. We've only played about 3 minutes here in the second half.
I think Ted Valentine more the object of his ire in that situation.
Watson.
Tennessee again slowed down by the South Carolina defense.
Gamecocks have done a nice job defensively. Lofton, a tough shot.
Everything's just a little long all day for Chris Lofton. He's been back iron, and some of them he just missed the rim completely.
Kelly with 1 shot. They do get an offensive rebound. The putback won't go. Kinsey had a good look at it. Smith, the long 3. Watson to the hole. The scooped up dunk. Watson with 9 in the ball game leads the Volunteers as they go up by 5. 4 minutes gone by here in the second half.
C.J. Watson told me at media days this year that he was the best point guard in the Southeastern Conference, and he has proved it to this point this season.
I don't think there's any question for the senior from Las Vegas. Wallace has it knocked away. Bradshaw got the loose ball.
Watson made that statement back in October. It was laughable.
Patterson gets down deep and he gets the easy 2. He's got 5 in the ball game. And the lead is now 7 for the Volunteers. Kelly a little out of control. Good pass inside to Tisby, who gets the easy deuce. He's got 4 in the contest.
Finally, South Carolina got to that matchup inside. Antoine Tisby against Dane Bradshaw. Tisby with a big size advantage, able to get 2.
Patterson tries to seal it off for Smith. Lofton will try it again, and he finally gets off the schneid, gets the 3.
And the confidence he has in himself. He has missed his first 5 3-point shots of the day, but still has kept shooting and finds the bottom on that one to give Tennessee the 8-point edge.
Well, he was the SEC Player of the Week this past week, mainly because of that outstanding performance versus Florida. Lead is 8. 29
points in that ball game. The high in conference play this year. Chris Lofton, Trey Kelly also had 29 in an SEC game. The only 2 players in the league with that many points in a single game here on the court today.
Kelly gives it off inside to Rocky Trice, who gets the 2, cuts that 8-point lead down to 6.
Nice drive by Trey Kelly. Really easy basket for South Carolina.
4 assists now for Kelly. We've got a whistle, and South Carolina doesn't like it. We've got a timeout. 14-16. The backcourt of Lofton and Watson have put on a show for Tennessee tonight. That's why they lead it by half a dozen.
Life. The Mercury Mariner. Mariner setting new trends with unexpected touches everywhere you look. And now Mariner comes as a hybrid too. Ever drive an SUV that gets
SEC Saturday Night on FSN is brought to you by Dodge. Now for the week, Chris Lofton, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. That is the average for the week. Been struggling a little bit tonight, but isn't he a little bit better, Barry, when the game settles down a little bit? Is he more effective then? You can see he struggled 2 from 9.
He is a really good shooter in the half-court situation when his teammates can penetrate and pitch it out. But he has struggled from the field today. Only 1 of 7 from 3-point range. Lofton just having a tough day, but still has 10 points.
Now Wingate gets his 4th point, and here comes the pressure. The lead back to 6. That's about what we have left in the ball game. 6 minutes.
Just amazing that Tennessee can continue to generate points despite Lofton having a tough day shooting. C.J. Watson hadn't had that great a day shooting, but they can still generate points in the rebounding opportunities. 15 second chance points for the Vols.
A little spin move, has it checked away. 14 on the shot clock. South Carolina will have it. One of the things South Carolina's been doing better lately, and Kelly having little words there, they've been managing the game better. That's a good job by the officials, getting Smith and Kelly over there and just talking about it. Stop it right now. Let's not get chippy, gentlemen. But they are trying to learn how to manage the game better. That's something that Dave Odom talked about today.
finishing the game. As they are down 8, the team with not much depth. They've got to expend some energy right now and get back into this thing.
Rice the quick shot. Smith the rebounds. Got to Zundu. Part of the jam. Timeout, South Carolina. That got the crowd going. The biggest lead of the game for Bruce Pearl's squad. It's up to 10, 47-37. The contest. Stanley Asumnu with a high flying dunk. Tennessee fans love it. The lead is now in double digits with 13:26 to play in the ball game. Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee, along with Barry Booker, Ron Thulin. Whistle and a foul. That's going to be on Wingate. Tennessee had the lead at the end of the first half, 33-28. South Carolina led in that first 20 minutes by as many as 7. Well, South Carolina, I tell you what, they've had a couple of heartbreakers. They lose Georgia, you know, in overtime at the buzzer. And then you look at that Kentucky game, and Dave Odom says, you know, we had those games.
And they have persevered. They were 0-3 in the SEC, but they fought through and got a win in Nashville against Vanderbilt. They played great at Kentucky, but couldn't quite come up with a win. Then they beat Florida. This team has pressed through some very difficult situations early on this year. We'll see if they can press through today against the Tennessee team, playing with a lot of confidence, playing well. South Carolina's got to press through and get it together.
And Terrence Kinsey will knock home the 3. He's got 12 in the ball game, and that cuts the lead down quickly.
Big bucket for South Carolina after that timeout, trying to get things rolling their way again.
Smith tries to answer. Wingate can't get it, goes over the back.
And Tennessee is not a physical club inside, so South Carolina has to take advantage and pound that ball in there. As Tennessee, we're seeing why they have played so well here in the second half. 5 assists, no turnovers after 9 turnovers in the first half.
And there were 6 assists in that first half. Dave, a great spin move, can't finish it. Own rebound, tries it again. Wingate pokes it out. It'll belong to South Carolina. Jordan Howell will come back into the lineup along with Chris Lofton. Watson sits down and Smith sits down.
I like the aggressive play by Dwayne Day, taking that ball to the basket. Despite South Carolina not having their big guys on the court right now, they have gone to a real small lineup. They can still drive it to the basket.
Beautiful pass, Day to Kelly for the 2. Kelly's got 7 in the ball game, and the lead is cut to 5.
You take advantage of that Tennessee pressure by spreading them out, opening up the court, and Trey Kelly able to slash in, get the easy bucket.
Zulu almost took his eye off the basketball. Patterson wants it. He's being covered by McDowell, who gives up a bunch of inches. Major mismatch. Wingate with the right-handed slam.
A rare occasion where Tennessee has the big size advantage. Major Wingate overpowering Bachman to get to the bucket.
And McDowell puts the heel down on the out-of-bounds line.
And after Tennessee scores, they can apply that pressure, and they force another South Carolina turnover.
8 turnovers for South Carolina. Wingate, the emphatic slam. The lead is 7. Tennessee leads by 7. Something that South Carolina did after the Tennessee make. They brought the ball in quickly against that Tennessee press. Dave Odom really doesn't want that, does he?
That's probably what he's talking about right now to his club. You don't want to just add to Tennessee's frenetic pace by taking it out quickly, throwing it in quickly, keeping the pace of this ball game going. That's one way that South Carolina can slow things down a little bit, is by not taking the ball out so quickly.
Tennessee and South Carolina shooting about the same for the ball game. Lofton with a float. That's a tough shot over the outstretched hands of Bachman. That's 12 now for Lofton in the contest.
Beautiful shot by Chris Lofton, and even though he struggled with his jumper, still putting points on the board for the Vols.
See how South Carolina took their time bringing it in. And they broke the press. 11:20 to play. McDowell. And he'll launch the 3. Bachman, the offensive rebound and the putback, and he is having an outstanding game. Just with his energy, not necessarily his scoring.
Sometimes for a team like South Carolina, who sometimes struggles to bring energy, they like seeing a big crowd when they go on the road. That helps them get fired up. A guy like Ronaldo Bachman, the crowd getting on him, that helps him.
Well, Lofton, the off-balance shot. Maybe he's starting to heat up. He's got 14 in the contest.
I believe he is starting to get rolling.
7 this half. Lofton got a piece of that one. Bradshaw fights for it. Patterson fights for it. It'll belong to South Carolina with 10:26 left in the ball game.
Chris Lofton starting to knock down a couple of jumpers. Nice defensive play to get the block shot. You see that he has gotten better over the season in the second half. 60% from the field in the second half for Chris Lofton.
And he tips it away, but it'll belong to South Carolina, still with 35 on the shot clock. Sundu will guard the inbounds pass. Kinsey will set to trigger it in. Kelly has Howell on him. Howell's been getting a lot of minutes as of late. Did a great job in that Florida game. Watson fouled out. Kelly can't get it. But he does draw the foul. Can't get either one. Day with a follow and over Wingate's outstretched arms. 5 for Day in the ball game. Halfway home here in the second half. The lead is 7 for Tennessee.
South Carolina hanging in there. They have not quit and will not quit today. They are a team that scraps and fights.
Powell got about halfway down on that shot. Bachman the rebound. He leads the break. 4 rebounds for Bachman. Gives it up. And the 3 goes down for Day. The sophomore from Mount Vernon, Georgia's got 8. And the lead is 4.
South Carolina getting back into their zone defense. It gave Tennessee quite a bit of trouble in the first half. This zone where they really spread out, try to match up, find those 3-point shooters from Tennessee. There he is.
The double bounce got a Sundu.
Lofton still just a little bit long with his jumper today.
1 for 8 from beyond the arc. McDowell for 3.
Not a good shot that time from Stephen McDowell.
Sundu, yes! Great look from Lofton, and Asundu's got 10 in the ball game. Now Tennessee will back it off with 8:45 to play, up by 6.
Pretty much what we expected. 2 evenly matched clubs. South Carolina hanging right in there in this ball game. There's a good shot.
And McDowell makes him pay for it.
Stephen that time had time to get on balance, square his shoulders, and get that shot off. Able to knock that one home.
Sundu can't answer. Kelly the offensive rebound. Got McDowell on the right, takes it himself. No place to go. McDowell has it poked away by Lofton. Tennessee with their 6th steal. Lofton with the 3 again.
No conscience.
Not a bit.
Who's having a bad shooting day? Chris Lofton still firing.
10 in this half, 17 in the ball game. The lead is 6, and McDowell backs it out. Bachman wants it, works on Wingate. Couple of dribbles. Wingate gets it. Bachman goes down. Lofton again for 3.
Chris Lofton from deep.
20 points for Lofton in the ball game. He's heated up.
Such a difficult shot. Lofton turning to get that shot off, and Tennessee rolling along up by 9.
He gets a couple of them, and that pushes the lead to 9. 7:23 to play.
celebration of a
15 points, and that has allowed the Vols to open up that 9-point advantage. 61-52, 7:23 to play in the contest. You know, we talked about Lofton. He was 1 of 6 shooting in that first half. Perry, he didn't listen to us.
He keeps firing. Shooter's mentality. He knows that he can knock it down when he gets going. 13 points in the second half for Chris Lofton off 5 of 8 shooting from the field, and he scored 10 of Tennessee's last 14 points. The young man is on a roll.
Well, I tell you, talking to Bruce Pearl a couple of weeks ago prior to the LSU game, he said he is up with the best shooters he has ever seen in his coaching career. He makes that difficult shot. Brilliant form, quick release. Kinsey over Bradshaw. Bradshaw just had the arm up enough. C.J. Watson back in. Lofton spotting up and nobody sees him. Watson gets picked by his own guy. That'll leave a mark. McDowell got the hand in there. Let's see who they're going to give it to. It may be on Wallace. If it is, that's his third. That is on Wallace, his third personal foul, and at the line it'll be C.J. Watson out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Went off a 19-point performance, 5 assists, 4 steals versus Mississippi State.
A little bit quiet today. We haven't called C.J. Watson's name all that much, but here he is in double figures on the game at 10.
10 points, 2 assists. 16th double-figure game this season, 69 for his career, and he adds one more to it. Bachman comes back in. McDowell goes out. Biggest lead of the ball game. It ties the biggest lead for Tennessee. It's 11. And Lofton again with a steal. Patterson just puts up the prayer. Won't be answered. Tennessee keeps it alive. We've got a whistle and a foul. Great job, though, by the Volunteers just hitting the boards.
These balls play so hard, pounding the offensive boards, and they play smart as well. Just making the smart plays, not doing anything to beat themselves, but the constant pressure they apply, both offensively and defensively, forces the other team to be uncomfortable.
There you can see the men of the steal. Tonight they got 6. They averaged 11, leading the SEC and 3rd in the country. That foul, by the way, was on Kinsey. That was his second. Less than 6.5 to play. Lofton thought about it for a second. Smith to the hole, doesn't get it. Childress couldn't get the rebound. Bachman becoming a crowd favorite here. He's got 5 rebounds. Day spots up, launches the 3, and he buries the 3. He's got 11 in the ball game for the sophomore.
The Gamecocks continuing to just hang around, get that lead down to 8 now. South Carolina needs to make some stands on the defensive end, and this will help.
Oh, yeah. Tennessee's first turnover of this half. And we only have 5:45 to play.
So many good ball handlers. They should take care of the ball really well, but they are exceptional at avoiding those turnovers and getting something out of each possession.
Kinsey, great pass to Bachman. Kinsey did a great job of breaking down the defense and giving it up to big Ronaldo Bachman. He's got 4 in the contest. 5 assists then for Kinsey, and we've got a timeout. Well, Bruce Pearl has seen his squad open up an 11-point lead a couple of times, but he's also seen it go away.
South Carolina not
coming your way on SEC Saturday night. Game 2 immediately following our contest. We'll have Mississippi State taking on Alabama. Should get underway about 7 o'clock Eastern time. Check your local listings. Well, a little while ago, we gave you our Southeast Toyota trivia question. The question was, what is the Tennessee record for most wins by a first-year coach? And the answer is DeVoe back in 78, 79. 21. Pearl's got a shot at it.
He's at 13 already, but really good basketball tradition here at Tennessee. They haven't had success over the last 10 or 12 years. Not a lot anyway. Some success there in the late 90s, but Tennessee with a strong tradition here.
Tradition that most people don't realize. Patterson just stays with it. That's just hard work.
Back to the Ray Mears days, the Ernie and Bernie show from the late 70s. Tennessee with 13 NCAA tournament appearances and 8 SEC titles, second only to Kentucky, tied with LSU with 8 SEC titles for the Vols.
Now fouls on Lofton. McDowell will come back in for South Carolina. Wallace will take a seat.
A small lineup for South Carolina got them back into the game against Vanderbilt, helped them come back and get that win. They played small quite a bit this last 10 days or so. Here in the latter stages of this game, South Carolina trying to get a lot of quickness on the court.
Yeah, Patterson
standing on the
right
end line.
Yep. McKenzie will try it again. 4:56 to play. Bachman cuts behind the defense, uses the left hand.
Again, South Carolina spreads Tennessee out on the inline out of bounds situation, run a cutter to the basket and get the layup.
Patterson over Bachman, but he does draw the whistle. And at the line, it will be Andre Patterson. Now 2 straight double-doubles for this young man. Moved into the starting lineup Wednesday against Mississippi State. 13 points, 11 rebounds in that ball game. Of course, he led the Pac-10 in field goal percentage a couple of years ago while he played at UCLA.
The senior, very vocal leader for this Tennessee ball club.
Lead stretched back to 8. Kelly looks to find out where Lofton is. Hey, he's been hot. He's got some tape on that spot. This time it comes up a little bit short.
He was about a foot or two farther out than he had been on his earlier three-point shots.
He's got to remember where he put that tape down. You know?
Tennessee trying to take a little bit of time off the clock with each possession if they don't have an easy fast break opportunity.
McDowell gives Watson a little love shove. Bachman, nice job, was on the right hip of Patterson and able to take it away. I'm impressed with this young man's energy.
He can really go when he comes to play, and Bachman having a good day today for South Carolina. Time is getting short for the Gamecocks.
Kelly to Bachman again. Nothing doing. We'll try it again. That's a good little spin move. So Bachman comes up with a rebound. The points, the lead has been cut down to 6, 67-61 with 3:46 to play in a contest. 8 points, 5 rebounds or less. And we're headed in that direction again. The problem for South Carolina, they're 2-5 in games decided by 5 or less. They need to find out a way to get that evened up.
South Carolina, this is the beginning of a 3-game road swing for the Gamecocks. They go to Florida and Arkansas their next 2 games. I think it's Arkansas first, then Florida. Their next home game is February 11th.
Smith with the floater. Bachman has the rejection, but we've got a goaltending call. Give Patterson 2 more. And we'll have a timeout. Bachman has scored the last 6 South Carolina points, but can he bring them back from an 8-point deficit with just 3:24 left?
Probably more room in the back.
We only have 3:24 to play. Tennessee has an 8-point advantage over South Carolina. The Volunteers number 19 in the country, and the answer to our Southeast Toyota trivia question, of course, was Don DeVoe, and he's actually in attendance here.
Coach DeVoe's moved back to Knoxville.
And Bruce Pearl has a shot at that record of 21 in the first year. But he has seen South Carolina throw up 27 three-pointers tonight. That ties how many three-point attempts for the most this year. That's when South Carolina played Vanderbilt.
And South Carolina was able to fight their way back and win that ball game. They need to attack quickly if they're going to come back in this one, down by 8.
Who's going to take over for South Carolina? Last year was Carlos Powell. That helps. Trey Kelly coming in for his 9th point of the ball game, and the lead is just 6. 3 minutes to play.
Mentioned the Vanderbilt game. It was Trey Kelly who took over in that one. Had 29 points in that ball game. Really lit things up coming down the stretch to get South Carolina into overtime. Kelly and Kinsey, the two big guns for South Carolina. That's where their point production can come from.
Shot clock at 14. Watson backs it out. Kelly staying right with Lofton. Bradshaw goes inside. The basket will count, and we have a foul.
The perfect possession for the Tennessee Vols, that trip. They take all that time off the shot clock, and Dane Bradshaw gets to the basket. He gets fouled, and then an extra added bonus. The basket goes. Tennessee extends their lead out to 8. Bradshaw a chance to make it 9.
Well, he's missed his only 3 free throw attempts this year. He's now, tonight, he's 1 of 4 now.
Lifts his hands to the sky after that one curls in.
Kelly gets away from the defense. What a move! Fakes the behind the back and takes it to the hole. He looked like Avery Johnson.
There was no one there either. Dre Kelly just making that phantom play. Beautiful move by Kelly getting to the basket as he
won the last 7 contests, but of course Tennessee won that game the last time South Carolina won here in Knoxville, January 23rd of 2002. Trey Kelly's trying to change all that. Just 5 days away from when he turned 21 years of age. He's got 11 points in the ball game. Here's the pressure. Kinsey and Bachman on the double. Bachman looking now at Bradshaw, and he gives it up to Watson. Patterson left open. Lofton spots up, launches a tough 3, and he buries another one. 23 points for Chris Lofton. Bradshaw the steal. Smith. We've got a foul.
That last shot by Lofton, that is one of those, oh, we got the ball, we're up 7, let's take some time off the clock. No, don't take that shot. Good shot.
If Bruce Pearl just has his arms crossed like, I can't believe it. Wallace picks up his 4th, by the way. Here it is again. And this is good defense.
Oh, yeah, Stephen McDowell right there on Chris Lofton. And Lofton, you would think Tennessee would need to take time off the clock. That would be the smart play there. But Lofton says, hey, this is money.
Smith only 59% on the year from the line. It's 1 of 2. Fights for the offensive rebound and kicks it back out to Bradshaw. Bruce Pearl put up his hands and said, guys, let's back this thing out. Smith says, forget about it. 13-point lead, the biggest of the game with 1:51. Tennessee is 11-0 when they hold their opponents under 80 points, and that's going to be the case tonight.
And the Vols didn't have their A game today. They were a bit lethargic, but they still come out and get enough done to beat a very Gamecock club.
Final 1.5. 18 offensive rebounds for Tennessee. That is outstanding. Smith is going to be fouled on the play. Not much that South Carolina can do now. That'll go on Kinsey.
With South Carolina desperate to get the basketball, Jawan Smith driving right around Ronaldo Bachman, an easy bucket for Tennessee, and that just about seals it for the Vols. I mentioned South Carolina, they're starting a 3-game road swing. Tennessee playing a 3-game homestand right now. Here against South Carolina, their next one is against Vanderbilt, and then Ole Miss next weekend. Big games for the Vols, playing at home. They have a chance to finish that homestand at 7-1, and that would just about punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament, which is really unbelievable for this club.
Absolutely. With the win tonight, they're going to tie how many wins they had last year. Patterson has a double-double, 4th of the season, 6th of the career, and 3 in a row for Andre Patterson. Tennessee has not won 20-plus games since 2001, and they take another step towards that tonight.
Go on the road Wednesday night, beat Mississippi State by 23 in Starkville, and here a big win against South Carolina.
Patterson, another offensive rebound and another putback, and it's a 16-point advantage.
Not many teams are going to dominate this South Carolina team and win by as big a margin as Tennessee has today. The Vols is really doing some impressive things here in Knoxville right now.
Well, the shot clock's turned off. Tennessee plus 11 overall rebounding. but the big key with the 18-19 offensive rebounds. Tennessee will go to 14-3, 5-1 in conference play. South Carolina falls to 11-9, 2-5 in the conference, and that's going to do it.
Great performance by the Vols. Big win. Get to 5-1 in the league.
That's the man. 16 second-half points. Started out 1 of 6. Shooting the basketball, caught fire in the second half. And our Lincoln Mercury player of the game has to go to Chris Lofton. An outstanding game for Lofton. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. But it was his 3-pointers that really got things going. 6 of 9 shooting in the second half. And Dave Odom's squad, another tough defeat for his troops who played hard the entire contest. We'll take a break, come back and talk with Bruce Pearl of Tennessee right after this. Tennessee shoots 56% in the second half. Impressive, especially in the last 5 minutes. They win it by 16, 81-65. Barry Booker is with Coach Pearl and also our star of the game, Barry.
Thanks, Ron. Here with Coach Pearl. A very happy coach here. 14-3 now. Does this just exceed all expectations for this team this year?
You know, the only expectation I had is that they play hard and play unselfishly, and what the wins and losses take care of themselves. What exceeded my expectation is our 3rd straight 20,000 crowd. Clearly, that's way ahead of schedule.
How much did that help you tonight? Seemed like the team was a little bit lethargic tonight, but the crowd seemed to pump you up.
I agree. I don't think we were quite as sharp to start off, and we were fortunate to be ahead at halftime. I do think the crowd and the way we play, because we're a spurt team, and this guy here, when he gets on a roll and he's open, you better find somebody to guard him, and he knocked down some huge shots in the second half.
It seemed like you had a couple of guys that really weren't playing all that well, but you're right, you still had that lead at the half. How are y'all able to do that?
Well, we dominated the boards in the first half, which I thought was important. There aren't many teams in the Southeastern Conference that we are as big as. South Carolina is one of them, and so we were able to do a good job on the boards. And you know, I thought we turned the ball over too much. Their zone and changing defenses bothered us more than I thought it would. And but I think the tempo and the pressure got to them at the end.
Yeah, some fatigue from their part. Great job, Coach. Appreciate you coming by. Chris, we'll bring you in here. Great job today. You seem to be a little bit off with your shooting, but how did you manage to get yourself going in the second half?
I just kept shooting, just trying to find my rhythm, because I know, I was going to make one sooner or later, and I finally did, and that just got me going. And I got some steals and got some layups and got going early.
We had a great second half, really able to get yourself going. 6 of 9 from the field in the second half. But now, is it just the confidence you have in yourself? Were people telling you to just keep shooting? What kept you going in the second half?
It's sort of both. We all people tell me a lot of them keep shooting, and in myself, I know I'm going to keep shooting. So I just kept shooting, and they started to fall for me.
Are you surprised by the success that y'all have had? 5-1, leading the SEC East. Is that a surprise for you? You've been around for a little while now.
I was surprised. It was a surprise for us to be first in the East, because coming in, I thought we was going to be one of the top teams, but I didn't know we was going to be first. But it's working out well for us. We just got to stay positive and keep working hard.
You got a couple more home games now. You got Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. What do y'all need to do to keep things going?
Just keep playing our hard, executing our plays, and just keep running up and down the floor and knocking down shots.
All right, well, great job today, Chris. Congratulations. Ron, we'll take it back to you.
All right, Tennessee is now 4-0 when they play before a crowd of 20,000 or more. They were hot in the second half, and that's been the downfall of South Carolina this year. We'll take a break and come back to Knoxville, Tennessee right after this. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Tennessee was just relentless in this ball game. They just never stopped coming after South Carolina, forced the tempo up with their defense. They were also able to get good shots in transition. Chris Lofton got hot, hit some tough shots, and Tennessee just blew this game wide open.
One final question about Tennessee. Right now, I think the problem is that Bruce Pearl is going to have, and it's a good problem. Expectations here in Knoxville are sky high right now. Do you have to go in the locker room now and throw a little cold water on these guys?
I don't think so. They need that confidence. They have a couple more home games now, Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. If they can pick up wins there, get to 7-1 in the league, that would be huge for them. Pick up a few more coming down the stretch. The Vols are on a roll, doing a great job, heading for the NCAAs.
And the final score again, 81-65. Tennessee wins over South Carolina. Now, for many of you, stay tuned for more SEC Saturday night as Mississippi State takes on Alabama. For others, NHL hockey is up next. For my broadcast partner, Barry Booker, I'm Ron Thulin saying so long from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And you got the chance.